Now it says I'm live on my phone. Let's see if that's any different. Welcome to the live chat. This is crazy. Uh, at least I got everything buttoned up out there with my screw gun good. Oh, aloha. How about here? I got you, 911. Okay, it's working on my phone. So that's working there. I guess I'll just leave it on my Mac too in case other people are there. I don't know if you'd want to see me all the way up on the big screen, but now I can read. Okay, I can read it on the phone. I'm gonna leave uh, this one on too because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All right, MJP, gotcha. Aloha, Truth, Truth WTC. I see you, Renee out there in the Netherlands. Aloha, brother. All right, I've been seeing you guys check in throughout the day. I could not get this live feed working to save my life. And I tried throughout the day among doing a bunch of stuff. But anyway, the most intense stuff's going to come on here pretty quick. So now I know how to do it. And I'll show you when there's like daylight tomorrow, because come tomorrow morning, it's going to be pounding us pretty good. Oh, this is much better. Yeah. Let's see what you're saying. Yeah, I appreciate you guys all chiming in and all your well wishes. All right, Wayne. Yeah. Yeah, truth. It's been really squirrely conditions around here. It's circling around. Get a band that comes through here, pounds us pretty hard, 2, 3 inches an hour type of rain, and then stops and lulls, and then there's nothing, and it's actually kind of nice, but just keeps coming in circles. It's raining right now, not too terribly hard, but yeah, if I could show you that satellite, the live satellite, which we're all watching, and you can see like that next big red glob. Yeah, it's coming down now good, pretty good. But yeah, wildlife is happy and noisy, no doubt. It's not bothering the frogs at all. It's not bothering them at all. Well, hopefully we'll take some of the heat off of this thing, so you over there on Oahu won't get bothered by it too much at all, because they're still talking 25 inches of rain right here, which we can absorb that pretty good here. We've been smacked with that kind of rain before many times, but um, it'll still cause some flooding for sure. I appreciate that. I love all you guys too. It's the best part of doing this is just being able to chat with people around the world and how we're all doing and getting by. I've got plenty of power, of course. Everything's working just fine here. I will be amazed if I can keep internet up and running throughout the next 24 hours, but if it does, I'll be impressed. But those Kona lows that we had, a couple months back, that they were definitely hurricane force winds back in here, and we did okay. I appreciate that, Renee. I appreciate you guys always backing me up and Think about you all around the world out there. Starlink's on my list. I almost pulled the trigger on that while uh, last night because I was thinking, there's a good chance I'm going to lose internet here, and I really rely on the internet. Excuse me. So I'm looking real hard at that Starlink Mini package because then if I even had to go somewhere, I've got internet up and running. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy that regardless of how I fare with this storm. If it goes out, for sure. I'm running right to town when the roads are clear and order it. Yeah, I'm on Hawaiian Telcom out here, fiber optic. The fiber optic works fantastic and we love it out here. And it's a tough little wire, tougher than you think. I've had branches hanging off of it uh, before, and it's never cut so far. Yeah, I was looking up the power usage of Starlink, at least in the operating one for that mini. I want to say it was only talking about 80 watts or something, which if that holds true, um, that's nothing. I can handle that easy, but I don't know if that is the same for, like if you're streaming a movie or whatever. I wouldn't think that would take any more power to run the unit, but at least what it showed me on its power consumption, I was like, oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah, I've got some spare batteries down here now just in case we won't see the sun. It's This is supposed to blow through us after it makes landfall or whatever it does and probably jump down to the south a little bit and then get out there and turn back into a hurricane, I guess. Oh, 30 watts. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think it said something like 30 to 80 watts. That's that's easy for me. Real easy. Shoot, I'd dedicate a whole battery just for the Starlink, which I basically am kind of doing right now with uh, I'm using the Chins batteries right now to keep my modem and stuff up and running. And they're full too. I've got everything full and backup, so I don't think sunshine's going to be an issue after Sunday. I think I'll get enough light back in. Everything will go back up to full power. Before it got real dark and cloudy today as the storm was coming in, I had everything basically up to full, except for the one battery here I could use a little boost on. We'll see how it goes. But oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Truth. I didn't know that. So I'm streaming on two devices right now. I'm looking where it says I've got 17 people on, and someone said you're typing to me. I can't see it on the initial stream. I launched another stream on my phone, which I am being able to read comments. So maybe if you guys want me to be able to answer your comments, get off of that original stream and look for this current one. Um, and then I can answer you guys because I'm being able to see these guys on my phone here just fine, but it's not, comments are not showing up on my laptop. You probably figured out in 2 seconds. I am not the most tech savvy person at all. I, I struggle with many aspects of it. Yeah, Ricky, I'm just leaving the other one up and running because it shows like 17 people on there. So I'm trying to tell them that if they come to my phone stream, uh, it's confusing. I appreciate your patience. I, maybe I should cancel the laptop stream, and you guys that are would get cut off if you go right back. You'll be able to see the only live stream, right? Does that make sense? Because two live streams makes me look like an old man out here trying to figure out how to turn his computer on. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to end the one that's on the laptop, and you guys that get cut off, you should be able to go back, and then I can see what the heck you're saying. I'm going to try that. All right, here we go. I'm going to end that stream. All right, that one's gone. Now I can close my laptop and just talk on one device. Okay. Hopefully they'll find their way in here. All right, Wayne. 30 max on the version residential. So, what's the difference? I don't even really remember what the difference was between the mini and the residential, other than cost up front. I mean, I was impressed. The mini was only a couple $100. Yeah, I like that whole idea. Oh, that's good to know too. I've got a 24-volt system over here is right now fully charged, ready to use as a backup. Um, right now I'm running this on a 12-volt system. Well, to tell you truth, this is a great place to do homestead. I mean, compared to the prices you're dealing with over there, there's still a lot of affordable land over here for sure, um, and private and quiet. That's one of the things that I like about being back in here. For me, is always the quiet. I like quiet. Um, I like to be able to walk out my door and not see my neighbors, and just be surrounded by nature and the roads on some of these rural areas. It depends where you go, but like I've got 2 miles of really, bumpy lava road to get out. But I mean, you just figure that into the equation. It takes you 30 minutes to get out of your subdivision, and then after that 30 minutes you can be about anywhere else you want. Black sands, huh? Yeah. Yeah, the wind's increasing here too. Schways down in Black Sands. I've got a lot of friends down in that area. I know some down Kalapana, Pohiki. Um, I haven't heard from any of them, but they're going to be getting some. of this here pretty quick. They're getting this, maybe even a little worse that close to the water. I'm not sure. It's a little late for me to be asking them, but yeah, I had an aunt living over in Hawaii Kai, uh, and she lived out there for, I think about 50 years before she passed away. And what did she say? She bought her house there for like in 1976 or something for like $40,000 in Hawaii Kai with ocean view. And, I mean, uh, I don't think you could probably find anything for 40,000 out there now, could you? I think it was worth over a million when she passed away. Yeah, that's crazy money. Yeah, maybe a tent. That's right. I actually know somebody out here down the road from me a ways that is right now in a tent. And it's going to be a rough night on them. I've seen some pretty elaborate tent systems out there in the jungle as well. Impressive, actually. Yeah, so Ricky, I collect all my rainwater. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's raining now, not super hard, but so I catch all the water off of the roof and hang on to it, and uh, like cisterns, catchment tanks. I've got 6,000, little over 6,000 gallons right now overflowing. And then I pipe that into the house with a 12-volt battery system. I have a lot of independent systems out here, several independent, and I have a lot of them that are just designated for one task. And so I've got a little 12-volt lithium iron phosphate battery, little 12-volt pump, pushes 35 psi into my house, and then I have a really nice reverse osmosis system that I run through for drinking water. Have like a drinking water tap on the sink that as soon as I turn it on, goes through reverse osmosis. And then just for like the kitchen sink and the shower, I just reduce my catchment water down to 5 microns, and that's fine for those purposes. Wow, I'm glad I turned up in your search. I never really ever know how anybody finds the channel, but yeah, I think RO is the best for out here too, especially with you know we do. There's a couple of pathogens to be aware of out here, of course. That but I've never had a problem. I have helped quite a few people start off with this kind of life. I probably did way more when I was in the Colorado mountains because I was kind of like one of the first solar pioneers, I guess you could say, back in the day, 30 years ago. And people were seeing that you could have power from the sun. And so a lot of people copied my system exactly, which was a real simple system. And then I've helped people out here to build systems and get them onto, especially the ones that were running generators around me. I went over and really encouraged them and showed them like how much cheaper and quieter you could run your TV or lights or whatever. now, see, I don't know, real quiet. That lull just comes by. No rain, can just barely hear the trees moving out there, and be taking a look at that satellite. I'll see what it's doing. It's yeah, that's what we do out here, right? We hunker down and watch the satellite. Really, Renee, just by looking up solar panels, and uh, I mean, I've talked about them. I'm surprised that I showed up compared to some other people that, they really talk about solar panels. I was there for a while, as I kept adding on these systems out here, I kept buying those cheap ones because the cheapest I could find on Amazon, which they were about $100 with free delivery. So I scooped up as many of those that I could, and I have had a fairly high failure rate on some of those, but all the ones I have in place right now are still holding strong. Let me see if I can. Demery. They were talking about generators disappearing off the shelves here. They typically do with a storm like this approaching. Most of our places seem to sell out of the generators that are in stock. It's still a real go-to. Hawaii homesteading, and it popped up. Wow. Yeah, and I've never been good. That's another thing I'm not real good about, is like, playing to the algorithm. I've always been just kind of like, oh, I'm sitting around, I go, oh, that's not a good idea. I'll bet they'd like me to make a video about that, and I never know. It's just whatever I was thinking about that day. Um, and YouTube does try to gently remind me, like, it always says little things in the comments about my videos, and it says, now if you did this and this and this, and if you only said this for 10 seconds instead of 2 minutes. Yeah, take a peek at the satellite here. Yeah, looks like we're going to get another little lull for a minute, and then this is a weird storm. No, I never did get my ham radio yet. I've talked to the ham radio club out here a few times over the years, and they're willing to just help me out all the way. That's still one of the things I would really like to have out here is a nice little ham set. Yeah, it died down here too right now. And looking at the live radar right now, let's see, there's a huge patch. Let me see if I can pause it when it was doing that, which will be, I don't know, maybe in about an hour. But it's just marching right up to the shore, not moving much. Yeah, there's been a lot of guys that do ham that have come in and talked over the years to this channel. Yeah, I see that big open spot too, and then it shows if I can actually go back and back it up, and if I'm start it again. What time is it supposed to be? Yeah. One o'clock. 1 o'clock in the morning. So what, 2 hours from now, it's going to be smacking us hard with nothing but red on the radar. We'll see how much more it drops south. I'll bet they are. I used to scan all those airwaves too. I used to listen to the various bands out here. My little shortwave and monitoring radios up in my shop right now. I didn't even think to bring it down here today, but if the internet goes down, I'll be going straight for it. You know, when I lived in the mountains, that was before internet days, and I had a real nice Drake shortwave radio, and that's what my entertainment was. I scanned the airwaves every night, just sat there and scanned around the world. I loved that. I loved that. Hey, aloha, Bill, out there in Pahoa. Getting a little bit of a lull about right now, aren't you out there? Same here. That's funny, Truth. Yeah, I've got the satellite going right now, live satellite feed, and yeah, that thing's gonna in a couple hours be smacking us pretty hard, and it looks like it's gonna go for hours at that rate too. Hey, welcome JFK. Well, uh, you probably would have left earlier if you watched how long it took me to struggle to get this live feed up. So glad you're back in here. Doing okay here. Yeah, doing just fine. Very quiet here at the moment. Very, in fact, almost eerily quiet right now. I don't hear any wind. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it. I'll just let it go live for a while. Finally figured out how to do it again. Ocean view, huh? Yeah, I mean, land prices are still pretty decent out there. I thought about that quite a bit. The only thing that turned me off is I mean, sometimes I run that way just to get away from the rain. Just jump up and over volcano and go out there just to get a nice dry day. But uh, I actually did look at some land over there years ago, and the Vog. I was like, you know, when the wind's blowing in what we say in the right direction away from us here, down there, I was like, oh, there's no way I could do that Vog. I love Waimea. Yeah, Waimea is beautiful. Little spendy up there too. Yeah, JFK it is. It's just it's right on the doorstep and moving slow, and in the next couple hours we're going to take a beating. But as long as that wind doesn't get too crazy, we can take that rain. I mean, so far the rain hasn't been too crazy. Oh, way cheaper than Oahu, I think. Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of, I mean, depending what, how you want to live and where you want to live. I mean, yeah, off grid as much as possible. Well, that was my feeling too. I mean, I looked at a lot of places when I first came out here. I had a bunch of them kind of marked uh, when I came out from Colorado. I was eyeballing a lot of different places online, and I quickly picked them off as I went and looked at them when I got here. And then I found this place, and it was a real fix me upper, but it had such good potential, so I jumped on that. The only thing I don't like about right here, and it's the spaghetti lots. I'm not a big fan of spaghetti lots. They're very narrow, very long. Um, I'd prefer like more of a square around me. But they're okay. It's still really, really private out here. I mean, you can hear people off in the distance, or what if they're, you know, working or whatever. I mean, there's that kind of normal kind of noise. Other than that, it's very, very quiet. Yeah, Tim, I expect to be up all night. Actually, I mean, normally I'd be asleep by now, but I an hour or so ago I had stuff falling on the roof over here, and yeah, that's almost impossible to sleep through, and it's hopefully be quiet for a couple hours. And I expect a lot of noise, a lot of noise. Yeah, there is some of that going on out here. I mean, I I've got some friends down there closer to the coast, and uh, I mean they really have a pretty good community. We have a here. There's a little bit of. I mean, there's community out here too. It's spread out differently. Um, but everyone is looking out for each other. I mean, even if you don't see them for years, and that can happen. Jimbo, man, good morning, brother. That's very, very generous of you, my friend. I'm glad you got up early to spend some time with me. I'm up late, and I'm probably going to be here for a little while because I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep. I'm tired, but yeah, sleep's going to be hard to come by here. Yeah, I'm on the Big Island, JFK. Uh, the volcano, Ricky, erupted. I want to say it was 2 days ago. It went off on its, I think it was the 53rd episode, is what it was called. You know, yeah, it did go off. Uh, was it last night or the night? I think it was the night before. I forget, but it launched up 500 feet in the air again, easy, and put on quite a show. It's doing it regularly now, about every week to 10 days, like clockwork. It's erupting. Yeah, we've had some good quakes here lately. And I have kind of lost track of those too. But there's been a couple of pretty good shakers in the past couple of weeks. Oh, uh, no, I don't, Renee. Right now I got 65%. I'm glad you said something. I hadn't even thought to look, but I can plug it right in, right here, right now. Thank you. I'll do that. I didn't even think to look. I'm a little scattered. It's, these swirly cues running around, and every now and then something falling on the roof. But yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, out there in what you're saying, Ocean View. Yeah, the only reason I saw a real nice 1 acre lot, beautiful ocean view. Um, and this has been several years ago. It was only like $5,000, I want to say. And but the VOG. Hey, hey, WCO, aloha out there in Kauai. Yeah, we're doing good here right now. I'm safe. I'm safe. I don't anticipate any problems. My biggest concern is if we did get real 75-mile-an-hour sustained winds back out here, the overhang over my lanai would probably be the most vulnerable place on this. But I mean, every single, I've got hurricane clips on every part of it. And it's taken some 70, 80 mile an hour winds before, but it always worries me when it's slamming into the house. I can just always imagine it peeling off right there. But I did, when I built extended my covered area by about 9 feet and bumped it out and extended the lanai and everything. But hurricane clips all the way around, and I'm glad I did that. And I've got them all around, even in here too. But anything else, I've always figured, I can deal with. Unless I was sitting here getting wet, and I don't know, that'd be a different story. But 12 hours later, so what are you, Renee? 11 in the morning? Wow. Other side of the world there. Boy, just dead quiet again. That wind that's just eerie. You can kind of feel it. Uh, from the very southern point there, South Point, well, as the crow flies, what would it be? I mean, I'm trying to think. By road, I don't think I could get down there in less than an hour and a half, probably. But yeah, I'm riding it out. I expect everything will be okay. I want to get through the night, the next few hours. I can see right now this lull. I'm not relaxing into the lull. I know it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, I don't blame you there, Truth. 911 Truth. I I do know some people that have some different properties. Um, yeah, I'll I'll check out and see what their situation is. I don't really keep up to date with what they've got, but I've known some people that, you know, it's possible they would have one of their spaces available, and some of the ones that I know that travel a lot too, sometimes looking for some good people to take care of their place while they're gone. That's what I'm thinking too, Tim. I mean, we've had Cat 1 storms back in here many times, and just not too long ago with those Kona lows, those things, that was some mean stuff. Those were some of the scariest winds I've ever seen. And even when we had that Cat 5 on our doorsteps back in 2018, and it stalled right in front of the island like this one's doing, just sat there and crawled. But that thing pound me with 52 inches of rain right here, 52 inches, and that was the most. I didn't even know rain could come out of the sky as hard as that was coming down. I thought it would bend the roof, man. I'm not kidding. Intense. Yeah, you can email me. That's in my you know description of the channel. You can scroll down and find my email. Shoot me an email. It's just projectsinparadise808 at gmail.com. You know. Are you asking when was that big rain? That was in 2018. If that's Yeah, that Kona Low, man, that thing. Yeah, I have a whole respect for those things too. What's it like in your neck of the woods, Jimbo? You're up very early, aren't you, or is it very late? Boy, I can. It's that eerie calm again. Jimbo, mahalo, brother. I'm really glad you got up early to come and say hi. This is a preferred way of me talking to you guys compared to like going back and just typing back to you after you've commented on a video or something. This is good. It can kind of have a little bit different interaction with you. You stay safe too out there, Jimbo. Appreciate you always being part of the channel. Appreciate all of you. Wow, Eastern Canada, yeah, early there, 5:30. I'm on the east side of the island here, you know, um, right between like Teao and Pahoa up in the jungle. As the crow flies, I'm 7, 8 miles from the shoreline, from the water. So in that 7 or 8 miles, from sea level, and then you come uphill, and I'm pretty sure the last time I had a GPS out here, it's been so many years, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it seems like I hit about 1,132 feet. I got my cat. He's out there on the lanai right up next to the door here, and in a box. The last time I looked, he was hunkered down in a box. And then my other cat died a few months ago. 18 years old, both of them. That's why I like it up here. It's because it like I go down to Gila. You're at 935 there in Pahoa. But I like it because it is cooler up here. Like Hilo, when I go down to Hilo, feels a little too hot for me. And we're only talking like 3, 4 degrees difference. But you get all acclimated to where you live. You go down there, it's like, oh no, this is too hot. But in reality, it's only about 3 or 4 degrees ever, but it makes a difference. Yeah, I think so. The worst is coming here. Overnight. It'll be a long, long night. There's not going to be any calm sleep for me tonight. I can't sleep through these things. Hey, Bill. Yeah, only frogs. Yeah, they're liking the rain tonight here, too. but the wind is calm and the rain is calm. It just goes through these calms. Been doing this for hours. You can just, when it was daylight, it was pretty cool. It's like whoosh, then it gets still, and yeah, I think I don't know how the internet works with the way they've strung the fiber up and down the roads out here. Like it if it got cut 5 miles away, do we all go down? I would assume so, but I mean I have no idea how that all works. Wine, well, cheers. It is Aloha Friday here earlier too. Yeah, it's going to be an all-nighter tonight for those of us out here. You got that, Shoy? You know what, WC? I don't even like the frogs lull me to sleep. I don't, you know, they don't bother me. They used to bother me a little bit, and they can still get screaming pretty loud. Where you're like, come on, but most of the times now, I mean, no, I don't even really. I mean, if I pay attention, I know what they're doing, but I basically they're just background noise, and they do just lull me to sleep. Never interrupts my sleep. You'd need a lot of these frogs to make a soup. They're not very big. The average one's only about that big around. Yeah, they are invasive. In fact, that's why when I first moved here, they weren't here yet. They were down lower near the water. They hadn't got this high in elevation, and I'd been here for about uh, I think I'd been here for almost 2 years, and then I heard my first one, and I went out to try to find it. Of course, I couldn't. And then after that, it happened real quick, where it went from one to millions. Yeah, Jimbo, my batteries are all in good shape. I only have one that's down into the 50 percentile. That's the one running my 5 cubic foot freezer. Um, it's right. I can peek at it right now, and it's doing 55%, and that's the lowest. Everything else is up in the 80th, 90th percentile. But that one, if I see any kind of light in the next couple of days, I'll be okay. Otherwise, I'll just pop another battery in that one. But every other one of my systems is basically full before this storm started in on me. So they're doing really, really good. And the power station's charged up, sitting right here. And I got another power station up in my shop. And I've got some spare batteries too. So I'm in good shape. I'm not going to run out of power. Uh-uh. I don't want to have to lug an extra battery around, but I will if I have to. No, I haven't heard of that guy. Uh-uh. So you probably need that rain then, huh, Renee? I wouldn't mind sending everyone I know. I've been talking to people on the mainland. I got people over there, and they can't buy a raindrop. I hope that doesn't happen here, Tim. Yeah, I don't blame you, Renee. Yeah, save up, get your nest egg squared away. I'll be darned. I when I was first in the mountains, I was really inspired by that book by was it Bill Mollison, uh, the permaculture book, and I took a lot of his ideas up in the mountains, and then I still use a lot of those out here. I really need to be way better about growing food because I've got a friend a few miles away from here has a farm. Never has to leave the farm. Grows all of his own food. He's set, of course, on solar, water catchment, uh, truly self-sustaining, and that's always been my dream. I don't know I'll ever get 100% self-sustaining, but that's good. I don't think they're not really saying Kauai's going to get threatened up there, do they? I haven't been watching what they're talking about in a few days. I'm hoping it keeps pushing kind of out there in the south and fizzles out, but 95 is pretty damn hot. The books that inspired me the most to live off grid was Michael Reynolds, his Earthship trilogy. Those first three Earthship books he put out, I carried those around and nonstop, and I was like, "That's what I'm going to do." And in fact, that was my plan in the Colorado mountains was to build an Earthship, and I knew a guy that built Earthships out there, and I thought, man, that is the way to live on the Earth, and especially right there. That was a great, southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, all those places where the Earthship communities really took off. Man, I saw some sweet, sweet homes. I mean, again, no air conditioning needed, no heating needed, because you've got, you're in with so much earth mass around you. Yeah, earth ships. Yeah, they're amazing. That was what I was going to do. I was going to build an earth ship and do it for cheap too, real cheap. I mean, I was going to haul all my tires in there, and I had enough uh, soil to work with to fill those tires up and start stacking them up. I had it all drawn out and everything, and then I eventually didn't do it. I went with a quick pop up cabin, and but I love that little cabin too. But the Earthship would have really been the most practical way to live in that environment. And Michael Reynolds, he's the man on that. Boy, if you like to go, I mean, if you like to garden and like growing food, yeah, it's hard to beat what we've got going on right here. I mean, I know people out here that's their passion, and this place is amazing for growing. I mean, well, almost all of the fresh produce I eat, almost all of it is from just local farmers here. It's rare that it's not actually. I mean, I just go to the little farmers markets on the side of the road out here. Yeah, that's true. They did say that about Aniki, and that one did sneak right up from the south, and pretty much that was devastating. I remember when that happened. If this one actually touches the island as a hurricane, and if its wind speed gets up there a little bit more, it will be doing that. They're saying that's the first time ever in recorded history that a hurricane will make landfall on the Big Island, and only the third time in all of our history. Iniki was one. I forget the name of the other one that did. So this would be like, could be for the record books, even whatever. Category 1, if it touches down here, that'll be the first time ever. Yeah, it does get bright in snowy climates, no doubt. Yeah, and then like they say, we always said up there at altitude up in the Rockies, the older the colder. Oh, that's cool. I seen them? I'm not sure if I've seen them or not. That name kind of sounds familiar. I might have run across one of their videos before. All's quiet on the Western Front out there. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, Jimbo, that's the only, and I have to have internet for this phone to work. Um, it is cell service. I used to have a hard line. There is phone run up and down the road here. And when I first got here, I pulled it back into here. And I kid you not, every time it rained, that the hard line wouldn't work. It just would not work. And then it's hard to find a cell out here. It's always been a tricky spot with cell, but with the internet, and I can tie into the Wi-Fi assisted thing, my cell phone works perfectly with that. Now, if that internet went down, I'd have to go about a half a mile from here to get a signal to get out. But for the last many years, I've had great cell service. So yeah, this and the internet is the only way I can uh, communicate with people. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That El Nino working on us. That kind of stream that's coming across from lower part of Mexico, top or Central America, where it just looks like it's a hurricane factory spitting them out there all the time. It's gone a little bit higher now, and saw that right away, and I thought, boy, the next little stream of disturbances is going to drive them in close to us, and there's a lot behind this one too. It's looking pretty messy out there. Yeah, Jimbo, that's the same, out here, you know, like I'm on Verizon here. I can go down to my neighbors a half a mile away from here. my phone won't work there, and they have to be on AT&T. It's goofy, and you know, but and like when I go down Kalapana way or something like that, my phone doesn't work, and everyone else is like, "Oh, you've got the wrong carrier," but uh, it works for me here. So I used to literally get up on the roof of this place to make a phone call in the earliest days before I had any internet connection and stuff. I could on the roof even with my arm up in the air to make a phone call. Other than that, I had to go about a half mile down the road. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. Well, how long you got to retire there, JFK? Yeah, there's not too much of a wind shear going on right now. Is there or is there? I mean, I'm looking at the satellite. I mean, it's just kind of stalled out there, isn't it? Maybe we're getting some wind shear out there. Take another peek at it here real quick. I don't know. Oh man, I mean, and a little bit later, yeah, we're gonna get smacked. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they ran that fiber optic out here years ago, which I couldn't believe they did. I just couldn't believe it. But yeah, they did, and boy, I was quick to get it. Solar's doing real good. Solar hobby, really, really good. I mean, we were just talking about that a little bit ago. All my systems are up to, really, really good. I've just got one battery that's going to need a little boost here in the next couple of days, and it should be fine. I don't think I'll have to switch out a battery. 67 in 3 months in the Netherlands to retire, huh? Josie, aloha. Well, that's pretty cool, Renee. I haven't heard of that kind of a plan. Hey, I gotta get some water. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's kind of goofy out here like that too. I mean, you just got to get a phone that works for where you live, and then you drive to a different part of the island. Nope, no good. But I guess they had to divvy up the market somewhat. Is it down to is it just Verizon and AT&T out there? Like one part of the island you need one part of the island you need the other. Or is it, that's pretty much how it is out here. I know in town, like in Hilo and stuff, other carriers work off of these guys, but out here in these sticks, it's one or the other of those. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna order Starlink tomorrow and get it on its way. It said when I was looking at it last night, I was really serious about pulling the trigger on it, and but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It said it would get out here in like a week, so that's cool. And the fiber, when they brought the fiber out here over the next, there was a little bit of an influx of more people out in this area when that happened, for sure. Um, it's the roads still keeping it from being really overrun with people out here. They're rough roads, but a lot of people can work from their homes without internet now. I've never ordered from AliExpress. I've started to several times. I thought I was going to buy some cells from them one time and start building batteries, and I almost did, but I never did do it. Yep. Well, you know what? I used to use Skype even, uh, that worked when my phone wouldn't work. Before the fiber was run out here, I just had a little broadband card, and I just had an antenna on the roof with a little 6-inch whip on it, and I did good. I did good. It was expensive. I mean, I had like an 80 gigabyte plan, and I could burn through that fast, but it still worked pretty good. But then after the fiber, it's like I never wanted anything other than that. It's pretty good. Yeah, yeah. I used to use Skype quite a bit. It worked. It worked, and I could make local calls. And I think I bought into one of their little services. It wasn't any more than just a couple of bucks, really, just to make local calls, and I could do everything on Skype with my broadband card that not any cell phone could I do from here. Couldn't make those same kind of calls. So yeah. Hey, I'm glad you guys are. Hey, pour yourself a cup of coffee, whatever you guys want. Sit around and ride this storm out. Yeah, see what happens. Again, super quiet out there. I don't know if you guys are being able to pick up the ambient wind, how it's in the background right now. It's stopped, but then you can hear it coming from a long ways away, and it's just being a little gusty out there, but not too bad at all. Yeah, yeah, that's how it is out here too. Same, like you. I guess that makes sense, right? I imagine it's probably that way on most of the islands. I don't know, but yeah, Starlink. That's next. This storm is really the one that really, ridden plenty of storms out. I never really thought about Starlink too hard, but now, the times change a little bit more, and I'm thinking, that one just has many more options, right? I mean, I can drive down the road with it or drive away with it and have internet wherever I stop. I mean, well, yeah, that's right. If it all goes down, well, we're all in the same boat then, right? And I don't think anything would work without it nowadays, but seems like there should be a way that I see a microphone on here, but I think that's just for me to have the ability to mute and not, but seems like we should just be able to talk on this, right? Well, that's a reason to celebrate, Renee, huh? Is it his first home? Yeah, I love the fiber. I do. The fiber is great. We love the fiber out here. Really? That hard to get a place there? What do you have to get on a wait list out there, Renee, or something like that, and just wait for one to pop open? And yeah, what's it cost for an apartment up in that part of the world? I would have no clue. Really, they said that? I haven't been watching the reports, Josie. Uh, I wonder if it will actually be a hurricane when it makes landfall, and we'll get put in the record books for that. Aloha, Kaylee. All right, it'll be a secret. Yeah, I don't know about all those versions, Wayne, but I was looking at the mini, the what they called the Starlink Mini last night. I think that's what I like that one. It was the most affordable, but shoot, and it's pretty quick, isn't it? Right? I mean, it'd be comparable to fiber, isn't it? I had someone commenting on the channel about that, and they said in like out in super hard rain or something like that, maybe it slows down or something, but which that would be an issue out here. Well, hi to your daughter there, Kaylee. Are you all up late or early? Icaroticus. Eroticus. Having to look. The print is so small on my phone, even with my glasses. Yeah, this has really been weird tonight. I mean, it just goes eerily quiet. It was actually I was putting out some little 1 minute uploads throughout the day because I couldn't get this live stream to work, and I thought that's just the way I'm going to have to like show people what's going on. Um, and it was rougher hours ago for sure, but it's still out there. Oh, that's pretty good. And you're out there in Alamosa. Yeah, that's some windy country. I was on the other side of the Sangres from you when I was up there in the mountains. You could you could get by with a wind generator out there in Alamosa, right? Wouldn't even need a solar panel probably. That's some windy country as I recall. Uh-oh, I don't like hearing that. All my chins are still doing good. I've got 3 of them running right now. Two 300 amp hours still tied in parallel, and then I got a 100 amp hour out there running my water. I'm doing well, Dan. Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. Doing well, just waiting for the next punch to come. Oh, even in heavy rain, you're getting pretty good speed. Okay, that's good to know because when I read that, I was like, man, I mean, we get a lot of rain out here. So, I need that internet to be working in the rain for sure. We get a lot of rain and dark days here, so yeah. Oh, here we go. gonna get loud now for a minute. Oh, right on time. It said about midnight it was gonna, and I can see, yeah. Yeah, this is way better, Renee. I like this. Kaylee, I'll definitely come check you guys out. Yeah, looking at the radar, it's gone from green to yellow and a little orange. That's coming down. There's some squalls going on up there too. Uh, my least favorite kind of weather is lightning, so I'm not seeing any of that on the radar, and I don't want to, or I'm going to be a hard guy to talk to. I don't like lightning. I've had so many close calls with lightning. Yeah, I haven't heard any boomers yet, James. Because when that happens, you'll see me jump. Yeah, I. So Kaylee, I'm just looking at the Hawaii News Now app on my uh, tablet and watching. They've got a live radar on there, and it's been very very accurate. Like yeah, right now, right on top of me is a patch of yellow instead of green, and there's some real deep reds coming on the next swirl. However long it takes to go from the eastern side, northeastern side of that cyclone to a little bit northwest. That's the way it's spinning, and there's some mean stuff coming. Oh, okay, I misread it. I have to look at these things twice. Kale. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's late. I'm a little punchy. All right, Jimbo. Have a great day. Thanks for popping in. I know, brother. Alzheimer's. It's dealt with plenty of that too. Be thinking about you, brother. Love you. Thank you. And I'm glad you're attentive, Jimbo. Of course you are. Got to reposition. That sounds pretty nice, Wayne. Those are coqui frogs, Dan. And there's thousands of them out there, and they love the rain. And they're only about that big around. I think the rain's drowning them out a little bit. They're still going. The home I'm in right now was a real shack when I bought it, Kale, and it had about a 16 by 24 footprint that was built very, very well, um, but it needed a lot of work, and it had no windows. It just had holes in the walls cut for windows, and the people that were living here just rolled like blankets down in those spaces, and but I crawled underneath it, and I mean the wood was nice. Whoever laid the floor and everything, the real foundation, it was like, okay, I can work with this. And I've over the years I've built on both sides. Like if you look at the front of my house, you can see I've got a nice long roof on both sides to accommodate the addition that I did on both sides. And that made a huge difference because I mean, when I first came in here, my first night, uh, I was laying on a cot. I came to Hawaii with a sea bag and not knowing a single person. I just hopped on a plane, got out of that snow country, and flew here and went looking for rural property. And then I found this place, and I thought, well, there's a roof over my head, and it's got some good bones. That's something I can work with. First night in here, I'm laying on a cot and my sleeping bag, and I kept hearing all these things jumping on the roof and moving around, and they sounded huge. And I thought, oh, that must be those, um, uh, not the, the long skinny rats. Why is that eluding me? It's because it's late. I can't believe it. Anyway, I thought it was something else because it was so big jumping on the roof. And then I had my flashlight and I peeked out of my sleeping bag, and there were rats, like huge rats running all over, and they're like looking at me like, what am I doing in their house? And so I got busy. I had to clean out the rats and then put windows in the place to keep the mosquitoes out. And it took a long time, but now I got the place looking good, but it took a while. No, they look like ferrets. No, I can't believe it. How can I not? Mongoose. We have mongoose out here. And yeah, and when I first heard the noise, I thought mongoose, but they don't come out at night. So I thought, what is it? I never in my wildest dreams would I believe that those were rats making a loud noise on the roof like that. I mean, it sounded like little small dogs up there running around. You keeping the coqui frogs out of there yet? Over there on Kauai? I know every now and then I'll see on the news you guys find one or two. They send out a SWAT team to hunt them down, and I'm like, man, I wish they'd do that here, but we're a lost cause with those. Those and the fire ants, man. We got those too. And they're a problem. I do love this place, though. I do. Yeah, I got the hatches battened down. I do. I'm just gonna be up. See if they move this picture any. What time is that supposed to be? Yeah, the lull. It's just been like this. Another little lull. I never knew glass could flex as much as I've seen in this house with some earthquakes. Um, I mean, that 6.9 earthquake we had right, when the caldera collapsed up there, up at the volcano, when that thing collapsed, 6.9 earthquake, I thought the whole world was swallowing me up. I ran out of the house. I was in this same room sitting at a table, and I was on the phone with somebody, and I mean, I thought the house was coming down. a wood house, that, so it was really swaying. I went outside, and my sliding glass doors were like this, and I'm like, how did those things not break? I cannot believe that they did not break. And now I've had a few other big earthquakes out here, same thing. I'm like, how did that window not break? But that 6.9, it looked like they were made of rubber. And I had never had one piece of broken glass with a 6.9 earthquake. That was unreal. But I could imagine being close to, hurricane force winds too. I almost brought some plywood down here today from up by the shop. I've got a stack of some plywood, and I thought, you know, maybe I'd cover up the sliding glass doors, but just rolling the dice on this one. I see very few centipedes out here, very few. Um, I saw more in the early days when I was doing a lot of construction out here. I'd go flip over a 2x4 that'd been laying on the ground out there for a little bit, and I'd see them. And I've had a few over the years that were in the house, literally just probably three or four, and I haven't seen them in years. But they were the ones that one time I was walking through another room I've got here, leaning up against the counter, and I had a centipede wrap itself around my big toe and was just chomping on me nonstop. And it was one of those little blue striped centipedes, one of those real mean little bastards. And it wrapped, I mean, I jumped up like 3 feet off the ground. I slapped that thing as hard as I could off onto the ground. Scared me to death. And, uh, and then I was like looking around, where's my hammer? Because, I went and I like swat it with like a magazine or something. Didn't phase that thing. I eventually got him, but yeah, they were tough. Watt cycle 48-volt inverters and batteries. Do I have any watt cycles? I don't think I've ever had a watt cycle back in here. Really? You're that sold on them, huh, Wayne? Well, I know our brother Will has probably got, if he says it makes his grade, then that's all the endorsement I need. I thought I had a watt cycle one time that was sent out for a review, but I guess it wasn't. I still get all kinds of, battery people, you know, pinging me to review a battery, and I used to just say yes, send them out. I'll take a look at them and put it on the YouTube channel, and every one of them now, they still constantly send them to me, and every time I tell them yes, then they go, oh well, we don't send to Hawaii, so yeah. Yeah, I saw that too, Kale. Yeah, the ones out here, they're tough, man. If I see them, I kill them. I do not want. I found one dead in the washing machine one time. Just before I even put clothes in there, it was just laying in there dead. It must have been in there during a wash cycle that I never knew about and never saw it until I was putting the next load in there, and it was a pretty big one, about 6 inches long. Tough as nails. Those things, tough. Yeah, I never even thought about that. Hit them with some raid, but the few times I've encountered them, I never had anything close except something like a hammer, and that's what they got hit with. And still had to hit them pretty good. Well, I'd have it around to be effective. Those things I don't ever. And the other thing I'll tell you that I haven't seen, and I used to, I've only seen one, two, three. I've only seen three is those. Uh, oh, the huge spider. What's the huge one called out here? I mean, it's as big as your hand running across the floor. Uh, I forget what that's called too. But I've seen three of those in here, and it's been years. It's been over 10 years since I've seen one. But when I was constructing, yeah, it was the cane spider. Yeah, it was the cane spider. And fast. I was one time. So I was the first time I was just sitting on a computer, dancing away, talking somebody or typing or something, and my peripheral vision caught it, and it had run across the floor and then stopped, and I looked over, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was huge. And I went straight to the door, and I called my cat P in the door. I said, "Come here, P," because I could do that for her if I saw anything. She'd come running in. She took one swipe at that thing, and it shrunk up to about that size, like the size of a dime. It just shrunk up. It went from the size of my hand. She batted it one time, and it just collapsed. Yeah. And we used to have tarantulas out there in Colorado down on on the road going down to Pueblo or something in the early mornings. They'd be crawling across the road out there on those plains. I had a friend visiting here, the first cane spider, and she was sitting on the toilet in the bathroom, and I was out, I think, on the lanai, and I hear this scream, and I mean like a real scream, and I went running in there, and she's like, "Look what's on the wall," and that was the first one I ever saw, and I was like, "Okay, well, that was worthy of a scream." Born in Aurora, Colorado. Is that what you're saying, Kale? My daughter was born in Aurora, Colorado. Hey, IMG, the frogs are frogging. Good morning out there, greedy men of no integrity. Yeah, in a snowstorm. Had to when a snowstorm, a really bad one, where they said don't go out on the roads, but she was coming into the world. So, and I was driving one of the worst cars ever made, a Chevy Vega, through 2 feet of snow to get her to the hospital to be born. It all turned out just fine. The car didn't make it though. don't know, IMG. It's looking, it's really moving slow. Uh, it, it looks like well, Dan, that's being a very hard question to answer right now because of the way it's just kind of stalled out there. I mean, if I look at I'll look at the live shot here, and I mean, I'm looking at the band. I mean, it's going to throw some pretty nasty stuff here within the next hour or so, but the bulk of it is just staying offshore. I don't know what it's going to do. That's been the most really confusing aspect. No one, I mean, they keep telling us like kind of what's going to happen, but I think everyone's just kind of sitting around. I keep thinking maybe that's one of the reasons I wanted to go live was like maybe some of the news people or people watching say, like, hey, that guy's up in Mountain View. we can we can change our picture a little bit when he's screaming. Yeah, I don't think so, Dan. It's supposed to get pretty bumpy till throughout the night, and boy, that center of it, I don't think that's gonna. I mean, I'm just watching it spin right now and slow. I think it's the island itself is just slowing. It's being able to make a decision, I guess. I don't know. Because it's not really jumping real hard south, or, I mean, it's just kind of like just sitting out there, and it doesn't look like it's, blowing up. I mean, earlier today they were saying it might blow up to a, category 2 or something like that, but I'm not seeing anything like that now. And the phones haven't been chirping. The phones were chirping earlier, but, those loud beeps warning you something nefarious is about. Oh, wait, there, I did see something about Cat 2. Let me go back to that. What time was this? This was from 7 o'clock this evening, and it doesn't look like they've updated since then on this particular warning. It says Cat 1 or Cat 2 hurricane force. So they did potential wind now to 74 to 110 miles an hour. The wind threat is staying fairly consistent, I guess. So, yeah, I'm south. Yeah, I am. That's about exactly where I am. Up in Mountain View, about as the crow flies, about 15 miles out of Hilo towards Volcano. Been through quite a few hurricanes out here since I've been here. Um, and I've lost track of all their names, to be honest with you, but it was Hurricane Lane in 2018 that dumped 52 inches of rain right here, right where I'm sitting. 52 inches, and it really wrecked the places back here. The roads were just trashed. Hilo was, I mean, there was pictures, because it all runs downhill, right? And I mean, they really got flooded down there, and there were homes out here in this subdivision got wiped off their foundations that were just about 2 miles away from me, just in a bad place, and started running downhill. All right, get something good, Renee. Yeah, Cat 2. There, I mean, it says here the location affected Hilo Pahoa volcano. Hard to believe, that it's going to get up as high as volcano. But I mean, really, I mean, these outer bands are going to cover this whole island. And then it says threat to life and property that includes typical forecast uncertainty in track, size, and intensity. Potential for winds 74 to 110 miles an hour. Plan for life-threatening wind of equivalent Cat 1 or 2 hurricane force. So potential impacts from the main wind event are unfolding, is what it says. Yes, they are. They're unfolding. And peak. Now they have raised the rain 12 to 18 inches, still 25 to even 30 right here. Yeah, I would say that up in Volcano, they're getting rain too. I could look at the live shot of that and see what it's doing. It's let's see. I'll take a peek at the. Well, it just shows nothing but dark. I can't even see a glow from the volcano right now, but it just did erupt 2 days ago, so it's quiet right now, and all the cameras on it, just nothing but night. I'm not even seeing a little glow from it, but I'm guessing it's raining up there. It's really not that far from here. Yeah, when lava was rolling down not too far from here years ago, the rain it didn't slow it down any, but it made it smoke a lot more. Yeah, yeah, James, it's coming. It's coming right here. No doubt. Right here where I am is supposed to catch the brunt of rain anyway, the most by many inches. It's like being in a tin drum, snare drum. Yeah, I'm not seeing any changes other than they are saying possibly Cat 2 strength. I don't think so. Gee, I don't see. I mean, this place found so much water, and that volcano never misses a beat. I don't think it would change anything. It hasn't in all the years I've been watching it. That's right, James. Yeah, it's picking up now. That's coming down pretty good. Yeah, that's, if I could see it out there, I could tell you about how much it would. That's probably 2, 3 inches an hour coming down. It can come down way harder though, but it's picking up. I can barely hear the frogs. Yeah, it sure does. Amplifies it just a little bit, especially in this room. All the other rooms have, you know, they're not, they have a little quieter to them, but in this kind of rain, not that much, but yeah. Yeah, those roads are going to be a mess. There's been some pretty good uh, pretty good gusts, Dan. There's one happening right now. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's some pretty good wind rolling through right now. If I could, you know what? Maybe I could try it. I could see if I could turn my camera around and get some light out there. It's coming down. It's swirling. That's a good question, but this is the average style out here. Well, thanks, Brendan. Thank you for checking them out. Yeah, this kind of rain top off your catchment tank fast, as fast as it can roll in there. Oh, that's it's whipping around out there now. I'll try and take this out there just even to the edge of the lanai and shine a light, but I'm pretty sure it's blowing in on the lanai right now, and I'm pretty warm and toasty right here. If it was daylight, those trees are whipping around right now. Yeah, Hawaii's got a lot, Kale. It's got a lot to offer. I'm on the internet right now, Dan. I tied in I am on my cell phone because I could not get my laptop to function with a live stream earlier this evening. I've been on for almost 2 hours now, and earlier I was talking with two different devices. I was fumbling about. Aloha Island Boy, we're hanging good here in Mountain View. Yeah, yeah, you don't want catching water off of asphalt roofs. Yeah, yeah. That's that's why they're all metal here. You getting any of the weather over there, Island Boy? I don't think it's reached that far yet. I don't know. I'd have to look at the satellite. I've been zeroing in on my spot, which it keeps saying, "This is the spot. This is the one. We're gonna get the serious rain. Not that it's not serious everywhere else, but we're gonna get pounded. We're like a magnet." Uh, it does that. Biblical rain. Seen it many times. It can pound 3 inches an hour for days on end, and you're just like, wow. Yeah, definitely lasts longer than the house. Little squall going out there now. I've never seen any hail here. I I know someone that lives about a half mile from here, and they told me one time when they were a little kid, they were born and raised here, and said one time when they were a little kid, right here in this neighborhood, they saw little teeny bits of hail coming down on the ground, and she said as a child, all of her parents were going like, "We've never seen this in our life," and it was like everyone got real excited. It only lasted a few seconds before it melted, but I've never seen it here though. Oh, I'm not too worried, Kale. I mean, it's just a situation. You can't. I find it impossible to sleep on nights like this when the worst is coming, and every time I hear a loud thump on the house or something, I'm gonna run out there with a flashlight and see what fell over, or if I needed to secure something. So I expect I'll be fine. I've got a cat. He's sitting out there on the lanai, Dan, and last I went out there, he was just curled up in a little box right up next to the door here. I had two. Uh, my female died a few months ago. Had them both out here since they were little babies, just a few weeks old. Been out here their whole lives. 18 years old. Yeah, it's going to be a long night for the whole state. Yeah, I mean, it is a huge system out there. It's huge. I just did that. I patched a good section of the roof right above my head, and I've still got a section that I've been waiting for the roof to be dry enough to get up there, and it hasn't been dry in months. So yeah, I should be good. G. I got everything I need back here. I mean, I always do as a rule. Ready for any. I can hunker down for a while if I need to. The roads out here can take a beating, and I mean, there's just lava roads, so it has to be a serious thing to start carving those away. But now some of the blacktop roads, paved roads between here, they can get washed out, and just kind of wait and see how this pans out. I'm not planning on going anywhere for many days. I forget what hurricane it was that we had that just gave us a glancing blow, and it knocked down a ton of trees throughout here, and it took a lot of people with a lot of chainsaws going to cut, the way out of here. That's been many years ago though. And I got my chainsaw sitting right here. Yeah, you hear that? Those are some. It's that. It's moving out there. Where'd you say you were, James? Orchid? At the Orchid Farm? Wasn't Orchid Land. You got that right, Solar Hobby. I I wouldn't tie up to the grid if they offered it to me. Well, maybe if they offered it to me for free, but they'll never do that. No, haven't paid a utility bill in over 30 years. And solar works so good and is so easy. I mean, yeah, I do. I've got water in the house if need be as well in case something weird happened. Yeah, I've always got that. And I mean, there's really not much to contaminate, my water. Uh, when the volcano was going off. I mean, it's always going off. Like I said, every 5 or 10 days it erupts. And just of recently, some of its characteristics were changing. We never really used to get rained down on with any volcanic debris, but in fact, I was just looking at these, and like this is the stuff the last time I went up there to see the volcano. This is some of the tephra that was falling down like rain, and it was like inches deep on the road and just pelting my car, and my car was completely covered with this stuff, super light, but it was even drifting back into here a little bit, not this size, much smaller, uh, and not even quite this size, about the smallest, like that little end of it. We're getting some of that even drifting down in here, and I've never really seen that until kind of in some of the recent eruptions. But I did disconnect my catchment and let that fall what it was going to on the roof, but some of it got out into my backup catchment tank, and I you know uh, settled to the bottom, and I kind of screened it out of there and stuff. But I mean, I certainly, they always warn you, like, if it's drifting this way, disconnect your catchment tank so you're not washing all of that into your tank. And but my main tank, I've got it covered, so nothing was really getting into there. Yeah, the cat Blacken is out on the lanai. I'm surprised, but he's all sleeping right now. But he peeked up at me a little bit ago, and then 6:45. Well, you're getting a good long charging day if it wakes up that early. That's mine. Mine are all awake by that time. This time of the year too. Just no kale. Don't have a well. It's all water catchment here. What all that rain coming down. All my stuff is overflowing. I have no more places to hold it, but everyone out here, it's catchment. Catch our rainwater, hold on to it. I'd like to put a bigger tank in because we get dry spells too. So I'm not using much propane these days. In fact, I get by on uh, sorry, I just heard something fall out there. Um, I just filled my propane up days before this, as I knew this storm was heading our way, and make sure I had no empty propane sitting here either. And my 40 pounders, I get the 8 9 gallon 40-pound tanks. I've got two of those, and then two smaller 20 pounders that I use mostly for like barbecuing or something. But I keep two of the 40 pounders for. Uh, I still got a propane oven stove here in the kitchen, and I use 8 gallons every 4 months is about my average now. I used a lot more when I had a propane refrigerator, but now I have an electric refrigerator, and those lithium batteries are just fantastic for running those in the sun that I get here. So yeah, those Palomas, they're great for the on-demand stuff. Uh, Thank you, Solar Hobby. I do just think of it as like a fun hobby. That's why I still just love talking about it with you guys. I mean, I love solar. I'm not the I there are guys out there that know so much more than I do about any of this stuff. But I mean, it's pretty easy. Hook it up, and it works. And um, It's gotten easier and it's gotten cheaper. Well, welcome back, Jimbo, and hello to your wife. And I'm okay. I might be looking a little tired. It's 1 o'clock, almost 1 o'clock in the morning here, and it just got quiet again. But um, yeah, it's just going to be a long night. But I'm okay. I got everything I need. Everything's just fine. Aloha, Baker. Yeah, another lull. Yeah, gee, I tell you, I've been having a problem with doing sponsorships for things. I get so many offers. It's not even funny, but um, I've been really resistant to them last little while, year or two. They used to always just be like, you go back to the beginning when I started this channel. I mean, they just say, "Hey, can we send you this? Can we send you that?" And I'd just be like, "Yeah, do it." And now they would without a lot of strings attached, and give them a fair review, and told them I'll hook it up. I'll put a system on it. I'll show how it works, and I'll continue to tell how it works. And to this day, basically, except for a couple over the years, everything has worked really well. But um, yeah, I don't I don't want to jump through the hoops with uh, most sponsors the way they want to be today. It's too much time involved, and oh, do this and do that, and I'm like, I don't have the patience for it. Yeah, those frogs, they sound like a little alarm system, don't they? Those are, yeah, they're not watch creatures. That is their mating call. They're all trying to hook up with somebody this evening. And I've still always wondered, now they're in the trees. They're tree frogs. They're up in these trees and they're hollering at each other saying, you know, "Oh, you sound good. Oh, you sound good." Well, I always wanted to know which one climbs down the tree, across the ground, and up the next tree. It used to be by about 2 o'clock in the morning, they would go quiet. They were all done mating for the night. But now I've been noticing lately they're staying up a lot later. Yeah, yeah. You could probably make the sound, Renee. It's up there now, James. And then right here now it's dead calm. It's just like I can barely hear the wind moving out there. Uh, Baker, I don't. I mean, I have several different systems hooked up and that I'm running, and they're all working so well that I don't have one of them that's getting really below the 50th percentile in general, just because I've got extra panels so they charge up quick. And you know, I built them all because we get a lot of rain and a lot of dark, kind of cloudy days. Still get solar power, but some of them can fall. But some of those batteries can fall behind. So the minute the sun comes out, and I get a lot of those fast-moving clouds, intermittent sunshine, and so like this time of the year, because the sun's been going down now for a couple months, but in general, I mean, I built all my systems for the shorter days of the year and when it would typically be more of a rainy season. Um, so like spring and summer, I'm always full, and on anything that I'm cycling, whether it's a refrigerator or a freezer or whatever it is, I'm usually only taking about the top 25% off of any battery any given nighttime cycle. So I don't, as a rule, watch them I mean, I really don't watch them that hard. I've got Victron on everything, so it's pretty effortless. See if I answered that question. Yeah, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to under circumstances of just drain them down, and then fill them back up. I don't worry about the percentages too much. I really don't. But in general, I'd say I average about a 25% cycle on any one that I'm using 24/7. And then it just, you know, wakes up in the 70, 80th percentile. And then if it's a good day, it'll get full. If not, it gets full enough. So, yeah, well, the way I built all these systems out here, Tim, was, I mean, I would get sent a battery for a review in the early days of this channel, and I would build a system around it, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm going to run this and this over here, and I kind of made like three different zones in my house. I've got like, you could call it like just three different large rooms. I'm in a room here. I've got three different systems in this room right here, and then in this, to run the center part of the house, I've got a bigger system in the back utility room, and then on the other side of the house, I have a couple more systems for other things, and that came about. Now, would I've just gone out and said, "Oh, I want to build 7 or 8 independent systems"? No, I think I'd have, you know, if I'd have had the money at the time when I first wanted to do the whole solar thing out here, um, I'd have probably just built it. I for sure would have built two systems because I always want some redundancy. I don't want to be relied on just one unit, no matter how big and beautiful it is. I don't, you know, I want something that I can pull from one to fix another one. Hey, Lampin, glad you're here too. Up in Finland, I'll bet it is cool up there. Yeah, I haven't, I really haven't drained that many of my batteries down to low voltage disconnect in the whole years I've been using them. Yeah, I've looked at those DC to DC converters, you know. I have I have one 24-volt system, yeah, I do. I'm using it at the moment as kind of like a backup. And like today, I was charging some smaller batteries off of that. You know, some of my hand tool batteries, chainsaw batteries, lawnmower batteries. I was using that 24-volt to charge, make sure that everything, you know, in case, because like earlier today when the winds were really kind of kicking up, and I had to cover some of my two systems out there on the lanai and start screwing some protective covers around there. So it was, you know, I was just making sure all my power tools had batteries, and that's what I was using that 24-volt for today. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. I know. Did you get the Victron one of that DC to DC converter? That was the one I almost pulled the trigger on many times. I never have, but trying to see if there's any updates. quiet out there again. About due for another little swirl, I believe. See how close they are. Oh yeah, pretty quick. It's gonna be coming down pretty good again. Oh, I will, Renee. Yeah. No, I'm not going to be sleeping for a little while, but I know I look tired and I sound tired. Good morning, Chad. Um, but it's, I'm looking at the radar, and there's another big pocket of nasty stuff. I'm going to be a little curious to see how it it really looks pretty rough at this spot here over the next several hours on the supposedly what it'll do, but yeah, it's well past my bedtime, but I figured as long as I'm going to be up, I'll see if you guys are up too. And there was a lot of people earlier. They're probably all asleep or trying to sleep too. There's a lot of people from around here that were. Uh, they're probably all doing the same thing, just kind of listening and waiting for. I've got everything I need to jump into action, but I don't want to jump into action. I don't think I'm going to have to. I'll be right back. I got to get some more water. All right. Make sure the roof stays in place, guys. I'll be right back. I remember that episode. I think I saw every single one of those episodes growing up, Gilligan's Island. Are you in the town out there on Kauai, or are you out there in the the rural area. I've never been over to that island. I've always wanted to go pay a visit, especially when they were running $29 inter island flights. Should have taken them up on that a long time ago. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And the old one I could not match. So when I built this room on, I just went with what I could find. I wanted to match the old because it was pretty good roof and still is. And but not to be found anymore. And the the other one, I've got another kind out there in front too, and it's the newest of all of the roofing. But yeah, a lot of mismatched panels up there. Yeah, yeah, that is right. That's the rainiest place in the world over there. I sometimes think we give you a run for your money, but I know you guys claim that spot. I do too. We get rain here, boy, plenty. Let's see. Any new news on that storm, man? It's just being very, very slow to make a decision, isn't it? Just sitting out there. It's got to be weakening, doesn't it? I mean, just sitting out there slamming into the island. It's got to be wearing it down. Yeah, I've got photos of everything out here. Uh, wow, I can't even imagine red clay. And you're right, Renee. It's gonna hit when I'm just like thinking, oh, I could get some sleep. What's this? Yeah, I'm not seeing any real new updates. Everyone, of course, it's the weekend too. So, but I'll tell you, these lava roads, boy, they're rough. They're rough. I remember when that reservoir burst over there. That made big news. Yeah, I'm not seeing any real new updates. Really, still 220 miles out there? Yeah, just taking its sweet time. They were, what is it? It's 1:20 a.m. here, and earlier in the day they said, that this was going to be the time to really start buckling down, be hunkered down. But it seems like it's going to be a little bit later than that. But I can see on the swirl on the satellite, there's some rough stuff coming. But yeah, that's nature. I just in these type of situations, I can only just prepare for what I think I need to be prepared for. I mean, so much of it turns out to be unpredictable. I can hear it roaring in the background. I wonder here. Okay, Vega, that's good information. Yeah, I'm sitting here scouring, see if I can see any real recent updates. That sounds about right, but about what I'm looking at too. Uh, yeah, I have talked to some of my neighbors, Jimbo, and yeah, everyone's just hunkered down, uh, and would call if they ran into a problem. The sun ain't up here. Yeah, I wonder what that means with this thing just kind of stalling out there. I don't really remember anything doing that. I mean, it seems like if it's doing that up against the island, it doesn't really have this the space to keep building and getting stronger. It's got to be weakening as it sits there and just beats on the island some. I was worried earlier today with watching the way it was growing out there, and it was so slow. I thought, well, are our waters warm enough right out there to just let that thing blossom up to be like a major, major hurricane? It's been a, and all of the forecasters have been scratching their heads on the way that this whole thing has been playing out. No one's had a good read on this from the very beginning. Yeah, yeah, it is a huge, huge storm, but I mean, it looks like it. I don't know. I'm no expert, but I've never seen one like this. Most of the bigger ones that have threatened us, we might have taken a glancing blow or something and it gets away from us. But this one has so much uh, moisture packed in there, but it's spread out over such a long, long way, too. I don't know. Try. Mountain View, Hawaii, right here. A little over 1,100 feet elevation. I'm just trying to get the latest little looks on this thing. Well, the weather is being very unpredictable at the moment, to some degree. Let's see. Yeah, right there. Still shows it blowing up. I think it's getting chewed up a little bit. It's not raining hard here at the moment, Ferdinand. It's just not. I mean, it has been off and on for hours, but right now, very calm. Yeah, and that's what they've been saying to us out here, Vegas. I mean, especially for right here, because we're a downslope here, and this area has just always been a pretty hot spot for everything, wind, rain. Yeah, I mean, is it getting? I mean, it's really got a. I mean, I still don't see like a definitive eye on it. I'm looking at it right now. I do not see, but it's swirling, boy. It's definitely swirling. It's huge. Really, it's raining up there on Aka'a. Let me zoom in a little bit here. they were saying, I mean, last night they were showing like all the projected rain totals, and Mountain View was in every single model they had. They had us number one, and 10 inches more rain than any place else, which didn't surprise us. But yeah, I can see up there, up north, there's a little activity. It even looks like Hilo's been getting hit pretty good. Someone will probably chime in from Hilo in a little bit and let us know what's going on down there. Yeah, well, it's not over yet. I don't think. I think we got a long many hours ahead of us yet, because it's just taking its time. But boy, over the next few hours, I mean, it looks like it's dropping down from that north, and it's going to pound right here, but all the way up Hamakua Coast too. Yeah. Yeah, and I kind of thought we would have seen that by now, actually. I've seen an eye, because they said we were getting close earlier. All right, Ferdinand. Thanks for dropping by and letting us know what's happening up in your area. Be safe up there, brother. Yeah, it's those gusts that worry me, for sure. And all those weird little microburst things that it usually does along the way, too. You get those real weird wind events. Yeah, taking its time. Taking its time out there. it's so quiet, I might try to get a little shut-eye, guys. I'll pop back on if it gets loud, of course, because I'll be wide awake and I can just come back on. And at light, when it's light out there too, I'll get back on and show you guys what this place is looking like come morning. But I, no worse than this, I could grab a few hours of shut-eye. I think that's what I'm going to shoot for. Thanks for hanging out, riding some of this storm out with me, everybody. I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back, but I'll have more to say tomorrow, or maybe shortly. But yeah, yeah. Thanks for all tuning in and just hanging out and shooting the breeze with me. But yeah, now that I know how to go live, I'll do it. And I'll show you guys what this place looks like tomorrow. Hopefully it looks just as good as it was earlier today. So, and if anything weird happens, I'll be back on sooner. Aloha, everybody. Appreciate you all so much. More than I could ever say. All right. I got to try for some shut-eye. How do I stop this stream? I must be tired.